Great to have you with us. Now, first story. Police in the Ashanti region have begun investigations into the threats issued on the life of multimedia journalist Erastus Asaridonko by Asin Central MP Kennedy Ohiniye-Japong. A statement signed by the Deputy Regional Commander DCOP David Ajimai-Ajim acknowledged receipt of an official complaint filed by the multimedia group asking for a thorough investigation and protection for Erastus and promised to periodically communicate their findings. It reads, and that's what you have on your screen. The Ashanti Region Police Command has received a formal complaint and petition from Multimedia Group against Honorable Kennedy Ohiniye-Japong MP for Asin Central constituency for threats allegedly made against their journalist, Mr. Erastus Asaridonko. Now, the petition is receiving attention and being investigated by the Regional Crime Officer, and any further developments will be communicated. The Police Regional Command would like to assure the general public that we are very aware and alive to our constitutional mandate and responsibility. We shall endeavor to protect each and every person in the region as well as their property, and we remain committed to this cause. Let us allow the police to investigate the matter and not to inflame passions and make comments that would ultimately mar the investigations. We also remind the general public of their civic responsibilities and implore each and every citizen to report to the police anything they witness, having knowledge about and have heard that will assist in the investigation of any case or cases. So please come forward and provide such information through our hotlines 18555-191 and 0299-202240. Please accept the felicitations of the command, and it's signed by the Deputy Regional Commander for the Ashanti Region, Mr. David Ajimai-Ajim, Deputy Commissioner of Police. Let's explore this reaction a bit further. Security analyst Adib Sani has joined us via Zoom. Mr. Sani, how swift is this action in your view from the police?
It should go beyond just issuing statements. I mean, in as much as I welcome it, immediately the information got to them from Multimedia. By the way, let me first of all congratulate Multimedia for also being swift in requesting security for the journalist, because it is a blatant threat. I mean, you cannot go to sleep with that. It is dangerous. It might inspire someone somewhere to harm the journalist, because certainly it's not the first time. But I'm hoping that quickly the police would provide security to the journalists, because it's within the mandate of the police to prevent and detect crime, to apprehend offenders, and to maintain public order and the safety of persons and property. It is a constitutional right also. It is not a privilege. I mean, it's a social contract kind of thing. You know, when we're in the university political science, they say that, yes, we give politicians our mandate and they intend protect us. They ensure our safety. So it is a good call, but I'm hoping that quickly the police will spring to action so we don't have yet another Ahmed Swali case in our hands.
There are those who say that the action by the multimedia group may be exaggerated and that Erastus may not be in any danger at all.
I mean, any Ghanaian who thinks that way, I'm sure is missing the point. You remember the Capitol Hill riots in the US. Even though we didn't have Donald Trump saying categorically, go and invade and cause mayhem and beat up officers, the manner in which he spoke sought to embolden, sought to inspire people who are inspired by his person. So there are a lot of people, of course, who would admire Honorable Kennedy Japong, who would follow what he says, are always listening to him. And when he speaks this way, it might inspire those people to take action. And it is certainly not the first time. And you see, a threat is a threat. Some time ago, there was this video making rounds of a pastor in the US threatening his wife right before her brother that if I don't kill her, call me fake. I don't know whether you remember that video.
And she died eventually.
And in the end, what happened? She died. I mean, even very, very, very minor threats, even sometimes becomes fatal within the domestic environment. But if they really listen carefully to the honorable, I mean, the statements were reckless, it was irresponsible, and if nothing is done about it, it will be yet another disaster waiting to happen. And mind you, Daniel, in the past few years, our performance on the World Press Freedom Rankings is not been progressive at all. We keep descending down the ladder due to the number of cases involving the deaths of journalists, the assaults on journalists, and nobody seems to be doing anything about it. So we really need to be very, very careful. Not just Erastus Asaridonko, but it's like everybody is blaming the media. Even when you listened to the officers who went before the committee, and I'm surprised some of the committee members seem to rationalize in the form of, oh, the media is sensational. Why? Sensational for reporting the truth. These are videos. This is not based on hearsay. So you can imagine if the media wasn't there, I'm sure someone somewhere would have said, oh, it was a battle situation. The protesters had G3 rifles. So we thank God for the media. We thank God for social media. And I pray you don't stop doing your work, but at the same time, you have to take practical measures to ensure your safety, not just the person of Erastus Asaridonko, even for you in the studio, because there's a general sentiment among some few persons. They don't seem to be very happy with the way you report the truth. And I think it's important you take that into consideration in ensuring your safety.
Now, Mr. Japan is currently carrying out his duties as chairman of the Defense and Interior Committee, even though he's been dragged before Parliament's Privileges Committee for these very comments. What do you make of this particular development?
Well, when Honorable Kennedy Japan was appointed the chairman of Defense and Interior, I was like, okay, let's wait to see. I would miss the Sete Champon days. I mean, descends down to our level, educates us on major security happenings. He was a good listener. This time around, I'm wondering what the way forward is. But I think that he should be made to stand down for investigations to be conducted, possibly a replacement, because trust me, considering the personality traits, the disposition of Honorable Kennedy Japan, I wonder whether the Defense and Interior is really a place for him. I think the leadership would really have to take a closer look at that and possibly get a new person, because one of the things that comes to play is secrecy. You need to maintain utmost secrecy because you are privy to very classified information. And this is a man who would give you 1,000 cities and the next minute sit on radio and tell the whole world that he's giving you that 1,000 cities. So I can imagine that's my major concern. I mean, I can imagine to what extent he can't keep that secret. And if you are the chairperson of Defense and Interior, yet you endanger the lives of journalists, then I wonder what really you are doing there. So that is really a major source of worry to me as a security practitioner. So I would have suggested that they made him to stand down, stand aside, then the investigations will be conducted and possibly a new chairperson would be appointed. There are a number of other people, like, Honorable James Akaga, even though he's with the opposition, is quite experienced in that regard and wouldn't make a bad chairperson at all.
Adam Sani, thank you very much for joining us this morning on News Desk.
My pleasure.